Zara Kelthani stood on the observation deck of New Cathara mining station and watched the morning sun rise over the crystal fields. The purple and blue crystals caught the light and threw rainbows across the rocky ground below. She had seen this view every morning for 12 years, and it still made her smile. The Zelrani colony had been peaceful for so long that many people forgot they lived on the edge of known space. The mining operation produced the rare crystals that made faster-than-light travel possible. Ships came from across the galaxy to trade for these precious stones. Everyone was happy and safe. Elder Vorthak walked up behind Zara. His old face looked worried. Administrator Kelthani, we are receiving strange signals from the outer sensors. Zara turned around. What kind of signals? Unknown ships approaching the system. Very large ships. They are not responding to our standard greeting messages. Zara felt a cold feeling in her stomach. How many ships? Our sensors show 47 vessels. All of them are warships. The peaceful morning suddenly felt different. Zara looked out at the crystal fields one more time, then followed Elder Vorthak to the control center. The other Zelrani workers were already gathered around the main screen. Their faces showed fear and confusion. Try sending the greeting message again, Zara said. Maybe their communication system is different from ours. The communications officer pressed buttons on his control panel. Standard greeting sent on all frequencies, Administrator. They waited. The screen showed the unknown ships getting closer to their world. The ships were huge and dark. They looked like they were built for war, not for trade. Then the reply came. The voice was harsh and cold. This is Commander Vexthor of the Hegemony of Skarn. You will surrender your colony immediately. You have 1 hour to evacuate all civilians. After that, we will take control of this world and its resources. The control room went silent. The Zelrani looked at each other with wide eyes. No one had expected this. The Skarn were known across the galaxy as brutal conquerors who took what they wanted by force. Elder Vorthak stepped forward. Commander Vexthor, this is a peaceful mining colony. We have done nothing wrong. Why do you threaten us? The Skarn commander laughed. It was not a pleasant sound. You possess resources we require. Your reasons for being here do not matter. Evacuate now or face the consequences. Zara felt anger rise in her chest. This is our home. We have lived here for 30 years. We will not simply abandon everything we have built. Then you will die with it, Vexthor replied. You have 58 minutes remaining. The communication ended. The control room filled with worried voices as the Zelrani discussed what to do. Some wanted to flee immediately. Others wanted to fight. Most just looked scared. We must contact the Galactic Council, Elder Vorthak said. They will send help. The Council is 3 weeks away, Zara replied. Even if they send their fastest ships, we will be dead long before they arrive. The communications officer raised his hand. Administrator, I am sending distress calls on all frequencies. Maybe someone closer will hear us. Zara nodded. Do it. Send our location and tell anyone who receives the message that we need immediate help. For the next hour, they watched the Skarn ships move into position around their world. The dark warships blocked out the stars. The beautiful morning had turned into a nightmare. When the hour ended, Commander Vexthor spoke again. Time is finished. You chose to resist. Now you will face Skarn justice. The first attack came without further warning. Bright energy beams shot down from the sky and hit the orbital platform where many Zelrani worked. The explosion was so bright that everyone in the control room had to close their eyes. When they looked again, the platform was gone. 200 good people had been working there. Zara felt tears on her face. Raise our defensive shields! Get everyone to the underground shelters! Now! Alarms began ringing all across the colony. Families ran through the streets carrying their children and whatever belongings they could grab. The underground shelters had been built years ago. but no one had ever thought they would really need them. The Scarran ships continued their attack. Energy beams hit the ground around the colony, destroying buildings and equipment. The shield generators worked hard to protect the main settlement, but everyone could see that they would not last long against so many warships. In the control room, Zara watched their power levels drop. "How long can the shields hold?" "At this rate of attack, maybe 3 days," the engineer replied. Elder Vorthak put his hand on Zara's shoulder. "We did our best. Sometimes that is all anyone can do." But Zara was not ready to give up. She opened the communication system one more time. "This is Administrator Zara Kelthani of New Kythera Colony. We are under attack by the Scarran hegemony. 500,000 civilians need immediate assistance. We cannot hold out much longer. Please, if anyone can hear this message, we need help. We have children here. We have families. We tried to live in peace, but now we face extinction. Please help us." She sent the message into space and hoped that someone, somewhere, would hear it and care enough to help. The Scarran ships continued their bombardment as night fell over the colony. In the shelters below ground, children cried and parents held them close. Everyone wondered if they would see another sunrise. The war for New Kythera had begun, and the Zelrani were losing. 3 days had passed since the Scarran attack began. Dr. Maya Sung crawled through the damaged ventilation shaft toward the main control room. She had been hiding in the research laboratory when the bombardment started, and now she was trying to reach the other survivors. Maya was human, the only one on the colony. She had come to New Kythera 2 years ago to study the unique crystal formations. The Zelrani had welcomed her with open arms, treating her like family. Now she wanted to help them in their darkest hour. She dropped down from the ventilation shaft into the control room. Several Zelrani looked at her with surprise. They had forgotten about the human scientist during the chaos of the attack. "Dr. Sung," Zara said, "we thought you had evacuated with the first group." Maya shook her head. "This is my home too now. I am not leaving." Elder Vorthak looked confused. "But you are human. Your people have powerful warships. Why do you not call them for help?" "I have been trying," Maya replied. "The Scarran are jamming all long-range communications. I cannot get a message through to human space." Tam Zelthek, a young engineer, looked up from his control panel. "Our shield power is down to 12%. The generators cannot take much more punishment." Through the windows, they could see the Scarran ships hanging in the sky like dark storm clouds. Energy beams continued to rain down on the colony's defenses. Each hit made the lights flicker and the ground shake. "How many people are in the shelters?" Maya asked. "About 400,000, Zara replied. "The shelters are overcrowded. The air recycling systems are failing because so many people are using them at once." Maya felt anger burning in her chest. The Scarran were not just attacking a military target. They were trying to kill innocent families who had never hurt anyone. In the underground shelters, children were getting sick from the poor air quality and the stress of constant fear. Parents held their little ones and tried to sing quiet songs to keep them calm, but everyone could hear the explosions above their heads. Elder Vorthak approached Maya. "Dr. Sung, tell us about your people. Are they as violent as the Scarran?" Maya thought carefully about how to answer. "Humans can be violent when we need to protect others, but we do not attack innocent people for their resources. We believe in helping those who cannot help themselves." "Then why do they not come to help us?" Tam asked. "Human space is very far away," Maya explained. "Even if my message reached them, it would take weeks for ships to get here, and the Scarran are jamming our signals anyway." Commander Vexthor's voice came through the communication system again. "Zelrani insects, your shields are failing. We grow tired of this game. Surrender now and we will make your deaths quick." Zara clenched her fists. "We will never surrender to murderers like you." The Scarran commander laughed. "Then watch your people suffer." The bombardment intensified. The Skarn ships began targeting the agricultural sectors where the colonists grew their food. Explosions destroyed the greenhouses and farming equipment. Even if the shields held, the colony would starve. Maya watched the destruction through the monitors and felt tears in her eyes. She remembered the stories her grandmother had told her about human history. Humans had faced impossible odds many times, but they never gave up. They always found a way to fight back. "Zara," Maya said, "I need to tell you something about humans. We have a saying, never give up, never surrender. Even when everything looks hopeless, we keep fighting. We believe that help can come from anywhere, at any time." Elder Vorthak shook his head sadly. "But no help is coming, Dr. Sung. We are alone out here." "Maybe," Maya said, "but humans also believe in miracles. Sometimes when things look darkest, something unexpected happens." Tam looked at his control panel with surprise. "I am detecting strange energy readings at the edge of the system." "What kind of readings?" Zara asked. "Unknown. It could be a sensor malfunction or—" Tam paused and checked his instruments again. "Or it could be a ship." Everyone gathered around Tam's station. The readings were very faint, but they showed something moving in the outer system. It was too far away to identify. Commander Vexthor's voice interrupted their hope. "This is your final warning, Zelrani. You have 6 hours to surrender completely. After that, we will begin targeting the civilian shelters directly. Your children will die first, so you can watch them suffer for your stupidity." The communication ended, leaving the control room in silence. 6 hours. That was all the time they had left. Maya looked around at her Zelrani friends. These good people had shown her nothing but kindness. They had shared their world, their knowledge, and their friendship. She could not let them die without a fight. "Listen to me," Maya said firmly. "Humans never abandon their friends. Even if no help comes, we will face this together. We will protect the children as long as we can. We will not let the Skarn win easily." Elder Vorthak nodded slowly. "If you are willing to die with us, Dr. Sung, then we are honored to call you family." Zara opened the communication system to speak to all the shelters. "This is Administrator Kelthani. We have 6 hours left. Use this time to tell your families you love them. Hold your children close. Remember the good times we have shared on this beautiful world. Whatever happens, we faced it together." In the shelters, families held each other tightly. Some prayed to their ancient gods. Others sang traditional songs. The children tried to be brave like their parents, but Maya kept watching Tam's sensor readings. The mysterious energy signature was getting stronger, and it seemed to be moving toward their system. She did not tell the others about her growing hope. Hope could be dangerous when disappointment might follow. Outside, the Skarn ships prepared for their final attack. 47 warships against a defenseless mining colony. It should have been an easy victory. But sometimes, Maya thought, the impossible becomes possible. Captain Kim Jun-ho stood on the bridge of the HSS Defiant Dawn and watched the hyperspace tunnel collapse behind his ship. After 3 days of traveling at maximum speed, they had finally reached the new Cathera system. What he saw made his blood run cold. 47 Skarn warships surrounded the small mining colony like vultures around a dying animal. Energy beams shot down from the dark ships, hitting the colony's failing shields. Kim could see explosions on the planet's surface. "Commander Lee, give me a full sensor sweep," Kim ordered. Commander Lee Min-jun worked quickly at his tactical station. "Captain, I count 47 enemy vessels. All of them are heavily armed warships. The colony's shields are almost gone." Kim had received Dr. Maya Sung's distress call 4 days ago while his ship was on patrol near human space. The message had been brief and desperate. A peaceful colony was under attack and needed immediate help. Kim had not hesitated. He had changed course and pushed his ship to its limits. But now he was here, and the situation looked hopeless. The HSS Defiant Dawn was a medium-class warship with a crew of 200 humans. It was fast and well-armed, but not designed to fight an entire enemy fleet. "Park So-young, what is our status?" Kim asked his chief engineer. Park looked up from her engineering console. "All systems are running at peak efficiency, Captain, but we took some stress damage during the high-speed journey. I can give you everything we have, but it will not last long in a major battle." Kim studied the tactical display. The Skarn ships were huge and powerful. Each one was bigger than his ship. In a direct fight, the Defiant Dawn would be destroyed in minutes. But Kim had not come this far to turn back now. "Open a communication channel to all ships in the system," Kim ordered. "Channel open, Captain," the communications officer replied. Kim took a deep breath. "This is Captain Kim Jun-ho of the human Navy ship HSS Defiant Dawn. To the people of New Cathara Colony, you are not alone. Help has arrived. To the Skarn fleet, you will cease your attack immediately and withdraw from this system." On the colony, Maya heard Kim's voice through the communication system and felt tears of joy on her face. "I told you," she whispered to Zara. "I told you humans never abandon their friends." Admiral Korath, the Skarn fleet commander, responded with laughter. "One small human ship against the might of the Skarn hegemony? You are either very brave or very stupid, Captain Kim." "Maybe both," Kim replied calmly. "But I am here and you are going to leave." "I think not," Admiral Korath said. "Your primitive technology is no match for Skarn warships. We will destroy you first, then finish with the colony." Kim smiled grimly. "You are welcome to try." The first group of Skarn ships turned away from the planet and moved toward the human vessel. Kim counted 12 heavy cruisers approaching in attack formation. Their weapons were already charging. "Navigation Officer Cho Yun-ji, take us into the asteroid field," Kim ordered. Cho's fingers flew over her control panel. "Entering asteroid field now, Captain." The Defiant Dawn dove between the floating rocks at high speed. The Skarn ships followed, but they were much larger and had to move more carefully to avoid collisions. "Commander Lee, target the lead ship. Prepare all forward weapons," Kim said. "Targeting systems locked, Captain. Ready to fire." Fire. The human ship's energy cannons and missile launchers unleashed a concentrated attack on the first Skarn cruiser. The enemy shields flared and collapsed under the precise barrage. Secondary explosions rippled along the Skarn ship's hull. "Direct hit," Lee reported. "Enemy vessel is heavily damaged." But the other Skarn ships were closing in fast. Energy beams shot through space around the Defiant Dawn. Kim felt his ship shake as some of the blasts hit their shields. "Park, reroute all non-essential power to weapons and shields," Kim ordered. "Already on it, Captain," Park replied. "Life support is at minimum levels. Artificial gravity is reduced by 50%. All available power going to combat systems." The human ship spun and twisted through the asteroid field like a dancer. The Skarn vessels tried to follow, but their massive size worked against them. Two of the enemy ships collided while trying to change direction quickly, damaging both vessels. "Lee, target the ships that collided. Hit them while they are vulnerable." "Firing now, Captain." More missiles streaked through space and slammed into the damaged Skarn ships. One of them exploded completely, lighting up the asteroid field with brilliant fire. The other limped away with heavy damage. On the colony, the Zelrani watched the battle on their sensors with amazement. One small human ship was fighting 12 larger enemies and winning. "How is this possible?" Elder Vorthak asked. Maya smiled through her tears. "That is what humans do. We find a way to win even when we should not be able to." But Kim knew the fight was far from over. He had destroyed 3 enemy ships and damaged 5 others, but 35 Skarn vessels still surrounded the planet. and more ships were moving to intercept his position. "Cho, plot a course out of the asteroid field. We need to keep moving," Kim said. "Course plotted, Captain, but we will be exposed to fire from multiple directions." "That is the idea," Kim replied. "If they are all shooting at us, they are not shooting at the colony." The defiant dawn burst out of the asteroid field at maximum speed. Immediately, energy beams from dozens of Scarran ships lit up space around them. Kim felt his ship shake and buck under the assault. "Shields down to 60%, Park reported. "Hull damage on Deck 7. Kim opened the communication channel to the colony again. "People of New Cathara, this is Captain Kim. Hold on down there. The cavalry has arrived, and we are not leaving without you." In the underground shelters, children stopped crying and listened to the human captain's voice. For the first time in days, they had hope. But Admiral Korath was growing angry. "All ships, focus fire on the human vessel. Destroy it immediately." Kim saw 35 enemy ships turning their weapons toward his ship. Even the defiant Dawn could not survive that much firepower. "This is going to get interesting," he said quietly. Kim watched 35 Scarran warships turn their weapons toward his ship and knew that a direct fight would mean certain death. The defiant Dawn was fast and well-armed, but it could not survive the combined firepower of an entire enemy fleet. "Lee, we need to use their size against them," Kim said. "What do you call it when the enemy is too big for their own good?" Commander Lee smiled. "The Terran Doctrine, Captain." "Make them hurt themselves." Kim nodded. "Exactly. Cho, plot 3 different attack courses. We are going to split their fleet and make them chase us in circles." Navigation Officer Cho worked quickly at her station. 3 courses plotted, Captain. Each one will take us through different parts of their formation." "Park, how much power can you give me?" Kim asked his engineer. Park checked her displays. "I can boost engine power by 30% for short periods, but we will run hot, and we cannot maintain it for long." "That will have to be enough," Kim said. "Lee, open a secure channel to Dr. Maya Sung on the colony." A moment later, Maya's voice came through the communication system. "Captain Kim, this is Dr. Sung. Thank God you are here." "Maya, I need you to help me coordinate our attack," Kim said. "Can you access the colony's orbital sensors?" "Yes, I am in the main control room. What do you need?" "I need real-time information about the Scarran ship positions. We are going to turn this fleet into a traffic accident." Maya quickly connected her communication device to the colony's sensor array. "I have sensor data, Captain. Sending it to your ship now." Lee looked at the incoming data and grinned. "Perfect. Captain, the Scarran ships are positioned in 3 main groups. If we attack each group separately, they will have to reposition to follow us." Kim studied the tactical display. "And when they reposition, they will get in each other's way," Lee finished. "The bigger they are, the harder it is for them to change direction quickly." Kim opened the general communication channel. "Admiral Korath, this is Captain Kim. You wanted to fight? Let me show you how humans do battle." The defiant Dawn suddenly accelerated toward the first group of Scarran ships. Park had boosted the engines beyond their normal limits, and the human vessel moved faster than the enemy had expected. "All weapons! Target the lead ship in Formation Alpha," Kim ordered. The human ship's energy cannons and missile launchers opened fire at point-blank range. The concentrated attack overwhelmed the Scarran ship's shields and punched through its armor. Explosions tore through the enemy vessel's hull, but instead of staying to fight, Kim immediately turned his ship away. "Cho, course change! Head for Formation Beta at maximum speed!" The Scarran ships in formation, Alpha tried to pursue the human vessel, but they had to turn their massive ships around first. By the time they began moving, the defiant Dawn was already attacking the second group of enemy ships. "This is insane," Admiral Korath said angrily. "All ships, converge on the human vessel. Cut off their escape routes." but that was exactly what Kim wanted. As the Skarn ships tried to surround the fast-moving human vessel, they began getting in each other's way. Two heavy cruisers collided while trying to intercept Kim's ship, damaging both vessels badly. Maya watched the battle from the colony's control center and felt amazement. He is making them chase him like angry animals. They are so focused on destroying his ship that they are not thinking clearly. Zara looked at the sensor readings with wonder. 1 ship against 35, and he is winning. On his bridge, Kim continued his deadly dance through space. Lee, target formation Gamma. Hit them hard and fast. Targeting systems locked, Lee replied, firing all weapons. The Defiant Dawn's attack destroyed another Skarran ship and damaged 2 others. But Admiral Korath was learning from his mistakes. Instead of chasing the human ship with his entire fleet, he began splitting his forces into smaller, faster groups. Captain, they are adapting, Cho warned. 6 ships are moving to intercept our next attack run. Kim nodded. Then we adapt too. Park, what can you give me from the mining equipment on the planet? Park looked confused. Captain? Maya, Kim called to the colony. Do you have any mining explosives or industrial equipment we can use? Maya quickly checked with the colony engineers. We have fusion charges for asteroid mining, Captain, and several cargo containers full of industrial equipment. Perfect, Kim said. Launch them into space. We are going to make some improvised weapons. Within minutes, the colony's cargo launchers were firing containers full of mining equipment and explosives into space. Lee tracked their trajectories and smiled. Captain, if we can get the Skarn ships to chase us through that debris field, they will fly right into our trap, Kim finished. The Defiant Dawn dove toward the floating cargo containers, while 6 Skarn ships pursued at high speed. Just before the human ship reached the debris field, Lee triggered the mining charges. The explosions turned the cargo containers into clouds of high-speed metal fragments. The pursuing Skarran ships flew directly into the improvised minefield. Their shields flared and failed under the unexpected assault. 2 ships were severely damaged, and 1 was destroyed completely. Admiral Korath's anger was growing dangerous. Enough games. All ships. Attack formation Korath 7. We will destroy that human pest even if we have to ram him. But Kim's ship had taken damage, too. Park, give me a damage report. Shields down to 25%, Park replied. We have hull breaches on 3 decks. Engine power is falling due to heat stress. Kim looked at the tactical display. 28 Skarran ships were still functional, and they were beginning to surround his position. His ship was running out of power, and there was nowhere left to run. Captain, Cho said quietly, they have us surrounded. All escape routes are blocked. Kim nodded calmly. Then we stop running and make our stand. He opened the communication channel to the colony one last time. Maya, tell your people to get as deep underground as possible. This is going to get rough. Maya's voice was steady despite her fear. Captain, what are you going to do? Kim smiled grimly. Something desperate and probably stupid. But that is what humans do best. Admiral Korath's voice came through the communication system. Surrender now, human, and we will kill you quickly. I have a better idea, Kim replied. How about you surrender to me? The Skarn admiral laughed. You are outnumbered and outgunned. What could you possibly do now? Kim looked at his crew and saw determination in their faces. These humans had traveled across the galaxy to help strangers in need. They would not give up now. Lee, prepare Operation Stubborn Hope, Kim said. Are you sure about this, Captain? Lee asked. No, Kim replied, but we are going to do it anyway. Kim looked at his crew and saw the same determination in their eyes that he felt in his heart. The HSS Defiant Dawn was surrounded, outgunned, and running out of power, but they had not come this far to give up now. Park, how much power can you give me if we overload the reactor completely? Kim asked. Park checked her engineering displays and went pale. Captain, if we overload the reactor that much, we will have one massive energy burst. But after that, the ship will be dead in space. How massive? Kim asked. Enough to destroy everything within 10,000 kilometers, Park replied, including us. Lee understood what Kim was planning. A kamikaze run at the flagship. Take out Admiral Korath and as many ships as possible. Kim nodded. Maya, are you listening? I am here, Captain. Maya's voice came from the colony. Tell your people that humans keep their promises. We said we would not abandon you, and we meant it. On the colony, Maya felt tears on her face. Captain, there has to be another way. Maybe there is, Kim said quietly. Cho, plot a direct course to Admiral Korath's flagship, maximum speed through the middle of their formation. Cho worked at her navigation controls with steady hands. Course plotted, Captain. We will pass within 500 meters of 12 enemy ships before reaching the flagship. Perfect, Kim said. Lee, calculate the exact moment when the Skarn fleet will be in the tightest formation. Lee studied the tactical display as the enemy ships moved to intercept them. In 3 minutes and 40 seconds, all 28 remaining ships will be grouped together to block our approach. Kim smiled. It was not a pleasant smile. Park, prepare to overload the reactor on my command, but not for a kamikaze run. Park looked confused. Then what, Captain? We are going to fly straight at them like we are going to ram the flagship. At the last second, we veer off and release all that energy in one burst, right in the middle of their formation. Lee's eyes went wide. Captain, that is insane. We will be at point-blank range when the reactor overloads. The explosion will destroy us too. Not if we are moving fast enough, Kim replied. Cho, can you get us clear of the blast zone in time? Cho ran calculations on her computer. It will be very close, Captain. We will have maybe 10 seconds between the energy release and the explosion. Then we better not waste those 10 seconds, Kim said. All hands, prepare for emergency acceleration. This is going to hurt. The Defiant Dawn turned toward the Skarn fleet and began accelerating at maximum speed. The human ship shot through space like an arrow aimed at Admiral Korath's massive flagship. All ships, he is making a suicide run, Admiral Korath said over the communication channel. Do not let him reach us. Destroy him now. 28 Skarn warships opened fire at the same time. Space around the human ship filled with energy beams and missiles. The Defiant Dawn's shields collapsed completely, and explosions erupted along its hull. Hull breaches on 5 decks, Park reported. We are losing atmosphere. Life support is failing. Keep us moving, Kim ordered. How long until we reach the optimal position? 30 seconds, Lee replied. The human ship continued its seemingly suicidal charge toward the enemy flagship. The Skarn ships moved closer together to block any escape route. They wanted to make sure the crazy human captain could not change course at the last moment. On the colony, Maya coordinated with the colony's engineers. Launch everything we have. All the mining equipment, all the spare parts, everything. Create as much confusion as possible. Cargo containers and mining equipment shot up from the planet's surface, adding to the chaos in space. Some of the Skarn ships had to adjust their positions to avoid the flying debris. 10 seconds to optimal position, Lee announced. Kim watched the enemy flagship grow larger on the main screen. Admiral Korath's ship was huge and powerful, bristling with weapons. In a few seconds, the human ship would smash into its hull and both vessels would be destroyed. Now, Kim said quietly. Cho, emergency turn. Park, overload the reactor. Lee, release everything we have. The Defiant Dawn suddenly veered to the right, missing the flagship by less than 300 meters. At the same instant, Park overloaded the ship's reactor, and Lee triggered every remaining weapon at point-blank range. The energy release was like a small sun being born in space. The overloaded reactor created a massive burst of energy that expanded outward at incredible speed. Admiral Korath's flagship, caught completely by surprise, took the full force of the explosion. The Skarn Admiral's ship broke apart like a toy. 12 other Skarn vessels that had moved too close were caught in the energy burst. Some were destroyed instantly. Others were so badly damaged that they began drifting helplessly through space. The Defiant Dawn rode the edge of the explosion like a surfer on a massive wave. Cho pushed the ship's engines beyond their breaking point, trying to escape the expanding energy field. "Come on," she whispered. "Come on, hold together." The human ship barely escaped the worst of the explosion, but the blast wave still hit them hard. More hull breaches opened. The engines finally failed completely. The lights went out as the power systems collapsed. But they were alive, and in space around them, 15 Skarn ships drifted as burning wreckage. The remaining 13 enemy vessels, shocked by the sudden destruction of their flagship and half their fleet, began retreating toward the edge of the system. On the colony, Maya watched the sensors and could hardly believe what she was seeing. "They are leaving. The Skarn are actually leaving." Elder Vorthak stared at the tactical display in amazement. How did one ship destroy so many? "Because they were human," Maya said simply. "They never give up, and they never abandon their friends." Kim's voice came through the communication system, weak but alive. "New Kithara Colony. This is Captain Kim. The Skarn threat has been eliminated. You are safe now." Zara felt tears of joy on her face. "Captain, are you all right?" "We are alive," Kim replied, "though our ship is not in very good condition. We could use some help with repairs." Maya laughed through her tears. "Captain, after what you did for us, we will give you anything you need. You saved 500,000 lives today." "We all saved each other," Kim said. "That is what friends do." 3 months later, Kim stood on the observation deck of New Kithara Station and watched human and Zelrani engineers working together to rebuild what the Skarn had destroyed. The two species had signed a mutual defense treaty, and the colony had become the first joint human-Zelrani research station. Elder Vorthak approached Kim with a medal made from the rare crystals that made the colony so valuable. "This is for you, Captain. The highest honor our people can give." Kim accepted the medal but shook his head. "The real heroes were the people who never gave up hope. You held on when everything seemed impossible. That took more courage than anything I did." Maya joined them on the observation deck. "The children want to name the new school after you, Captain." "Name it after hope instead," Kim suggested. "That is what saved us all." As the sun set over the crystal fields, Kim thought about the message he would send to Earth. Humans had made new friends among the stars, and those friendships would last forever. Because when someone needed help, humans would always answer the call. No matter how far they had to travel, no matter how impossible the odds, humans never abandoned those in need. That was what made them special in a galaxy full of wonders. And in the underground shelters that were now just storage rooms, children played games and sang songs about the day a human warship roared out of the void to save them all.